Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Tuesday. I hope that your week has started well. Thankfully here in the UK and more accurately in London, where Wimbledon's been happening, they're now playing a bit of tennis because it hasn't been raining too much. Having said that, just before the live stream, it did absolutely tip it down, but temperature wise, things are okay at the moment because I have the fan on and the air conditioning unit on, but just the fan function of it, because the air conditioning part of it isn't quite required. I think it's about 25, something like that maybe. So yeah, it's not quite as ridiculous as it has been recently. So that's all good. I'll inform you as to how I've got the fan working and how it's now relatively quiet, if not silent. Well, I can just about hear it, so I know that you guys probably, hopefully, fingers crossed, won't be able to hear it at all, because I've got it in a location that's miles away, and I have one of these tube things, you know, like a venting tube type thing that you have that comes out of the air conditioning unit. I bought an extra long one of those so that I can attach it, yeah, and it can be miles away, but I can still have the tube running over to me. And I've currently got it blowing air behind me, so it's all good. Double thumbs up. Anyway, let's see who's in the live chat room tonight. We have Karen in the house. Hello to Karen. And Bella, Bob's in there. Ro, Joni, Debbie, Carl, Bonnie, Bev, Tammy, Vince, Wallflower, Billy again, Cindy, Laura, Bev's in there as well, Maria and Linda, Allison, Annika, Suzanne, hello, thank you for joining me tonight on what is tonight here in the UK. It has just gone 8 minutes past 11, and we did start maybe a minute or two late because for some reason hopefully this is running smoothly, but my streaming software and the stuff that I use to live stream when I play a video, it was a bit jumpy. I don't know why it was jumpy, but if this is running smoothly, if you can let me know, that would be good, because it will adjust how I continue with the live stream. As for the videos being played later on, because I might have to grab them from YouTube because that still works smoothly, and yeah, just substitute videos that way, especially for the cover video later tonight. And let me get the names of my patrons up on screen, because that's what we do. Wow, you don't know how close, because I'm clicking everything on the screen and off the screen, you don't know how close I just came to clicking off the live feed for this camera, so that we just descended into darkness and everything stopped. It was probably about a millimetre, because I moved the little arrow to click on the button that I wanted, and I just hit the patrons button rather than the turn everything off button. So you wouldn't have seen that, but when I clicked, I had a little bit of a panic thinking I've almost clicked on the wrong thing. But thankfully, we're still live, it's all okay, and it would probably have been better for me not to admit that and just pretend that nothing happened. But if anybody saw some panic in my face, that's why that was. So very close to accidentally ending everything, but we're still okay. So let's get the likes goal up on screen, because it is another big one for tonight. 325 is what we are aiming for. So I'll do my customary appeal for thumbs up. If you haven't hit that thumbs up as you've come through the door, if you could do that, that would be fantastic, because if we are aiming for 325, let's have a look at where we are at the moment. 138. So we're looking for quite a few more likes, and maybe we can get an early spike of them going on. If we do hit that particular goal, then we're going to be having the Phil Jam number 23, I think, for tonight. So yeah, the 23rd Phil Jam, not of all time, but just of the most recent list, or the most recent last two lists that Joe has sent my way. Right, let me actually get rid of that and that. I'll leave, because I saw up there that it still said about the new mug being out and to put in the special code, but that code no longer works, so I don't want to waste anybody's time trying to get 20% off, but the mug is still available, so you can head over to the spring.com store if you want to get your hands on any of the merchandise. And I can see that Orlando has donated $2. Thank you for that, Orlando, but I'll give an early plug of the mug here, because we usually do that when Orlando donates or Paul donates. So if you want to get your hands on any of the merchandise, the t-shirts, the hoodies, the tumblers, the mugs, the caps, the new mug, then click on the link in the description below, or click on the tray underneath this video. If you can see any items there, just click on that, it'll take you through to the store. But, I mean, having just mentioned Orlando's donation, it was for $2 and says, despite the likes, hi Paul. So thank you for that, Orlando. And as I always say, you don't have to donate, people. Just watching the live streams is great. Maybe leave a thumbs up, introduce yourself in that live chat room so that we can all get to know each other's usernames. So that would be great. But I know that some people can't resist donating. So for those people, there is a donations tab that I put up on screen so that you do know that between 35 and 45% goes to YouTube through the super chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link. And you can find that in the description below, but you don't have to donate. Right. The other thing that I always say is that the people at the bottom of the screen, they are the foundation of everything that I do. And yeah, they are the reason that we're live streaming and that I make videos and even can make videos on the channel in the first place. So a huge shout out to these lovely people. You know who you are. And I mean, talking about, you know, Patreon and being the foundation of everything that I do, the interview that I had with Old Mr.B, you can find a link. At least I did this before the live stream started, so hopefully you'll be able to find a link to the first interview video there in the description below as well. If you guys want to go and click on that after the live stream, then you can see the interview with Old Mr.B there. But talking about copyrights, this is the reason that I say that the patrons and my patrons are just the foundation of everything that I do, because if ever I'm making a video where I'm looking at somebody else's music and music that I don't own the copyrights to myself personally, then everything from that video goes to the copyright owners. And this is, I think, a bit of a misconception and something that I did talk to Old Mr.B about during that interview. Yeah, it's a bit of a misconception that everyone thinks that everyone on YouTube, if you've got loads of subscribers, you're making loads of money. But if you consider my analysis videos, I'm always looking at other people's songs and I don't own the copyrights to those. So this is why for every single video I'll get a copyright claim and occasionally a copyright block. And this is the thing about Sunday's video. It was one of those videos that has been blocked in the past, and I know why it's been blocked, and generally maybe the reason that it got blocked was because the BBC, that was the footage of the video, and for anything to do with the Jules Holland show or anything that has been broadcast by the BBC, generally they just put an outright block on anything being reproduced on any other channels, whether it is fair use or not. So anyway, that footage from the video that I was going to release on Sunday got blocked. And I knew it was going to get blocked because the first time that I tried to do that video, it got blocked. But because my videos are analysis videos and they're transformative, for that particular video, I have disputed it. And I think, fingers crossed, it's going to be okay to be released tomorrow night. So it's going to be good because I know for a fact that this video that I can show, because it's transformative and it's fair use, and it has been looked at by the BBC to, this is generally what happens when you dispute something or a copyright claim or somebody blocks one of your videos. You can dispute it. Unfortunately, if you lose that dispute, then you get a copyright strike. So it is kind of all or nothing, but fortunately, because I know that it gets reviewed, it means somebody has to watch my video to then dispute my claim. But then from watching my video, it's clear that it's an analysis video, that there's transformative content. I mean, probably one of the main things is that the video lasts, or at least the performance lasts, for about 3 minutes, and it's like a 23-minute video. So I've got to be talking about something else for 20 minutes after the performance. But anyway, yeah, that's going to be out tomorrow night. And I do believe when I checked the dispute status before I went live, then it's all okay. It's now, the ad revenue, all that kind of thing is, you know, still to be sorted out. But I don't worry about that. I just want people to see the analysis video. So the block has been lifted on that from what I can see, which is great. And the reason that it's great is because I know that this particular video and performance video is nowhere on YouTube, and it was on YouTube, but then the BBC blocked it everywhere. So I know that I might be the only channel on YouTube that has this particular video. So yeah, it's going to be great. Look out for that tomorrow night, because yeah, it's going to be a good one, but also just great to look at the performance that I'm looking at. I won't give too much away, but it was one that once it did get blocked, I really wanted to revisit that video from a few years ago when I first tried to look at it, because yeah, I think it's a great live performance video to take a look at, but also just I think it's a shame that videos get blocked and removed from the internet altogether, especially when it's not done by the actual band or the record label. It's the TV company that are stopping this particular performance getting out there. So yes, this is it. As I said, disputing something is all or nothing, but I've I've got the confidence that once it gets reviewed, as this video has done for tomorrow night, it gets reviewed manually and somebody can see that, oh, it isn't somebody just posting it on their channel for views or to try and make money from it themselves. As you guys know, if you've watched the channel for any length of time, we do get into quite a lot of detail, and that's the thing about tomorrow night's video that I wouldn't have been able to do previously, was get into the detail, isolate vocals, run it through pitch monitoring software, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, that is for tomorrow night, so have a look out for that video, and make sure you are subscribed and hit that notification bell to increase your chances of getting notified for the videos, because I know that YouTube isn't particularly good at doing that, and I think it is kind of tied in with the fact that previously I would try and turn off as many adverts as possible as to not interrupt your viewing of my videos and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, YouTube seems to be turning the screw recently, where some subscribers who have even hit the notification bell have let me know that they're still not getting notified for every video that I release. So yeah, this is it. Just make sure, if anything, make a mental note that Wednesday night, Friday night and Sunday night are the analysis video nights. So there will be one getting released at 8 PM Greenwich Mean Time. I always do it at the same time as well, so that if you are subscribed and you're hopefully getting notified, but if you're not getting notified but you've hit the bell, then at least you know when to expect a video. And yeah, I very rarely miss a release day and a release time. So there you go. Just maybe make a mental note of that. Anyway, thank you Adam as well, who has donated $6.99 in that super chat window, and the message is, Phil, any chance you will travel to Toronto and sit in on the Tuesday night jam session at the Rex Jazz and Blues Bar? So thank you for that, Adam. And it's not a venue that I can just pop over to, unfortunately, but maybe someday in the future, who knows. Yeah, maybe sit in, have a listen to the jams going on there, or just shoehorn in a Phil jam for whatever. Yeah, just from nowhere. But yeah, who knows, maybe in the future would be good. But thank you for that, Adam. And Maureen has donated $3 as well. Thank you for that. And this is a picture of the green dude doing a big thumbs up. So thank you for that. And Paul has donated $2. Thank you for that, Paul. And the message is 306,000 subscribers. Yay. So that's the cue for me to try and find the button, and I did fill this in earlier on. Now, I don't know whether you can hear my voice now or not, whether the cheering's too loud. Let me know in the live chat room, because I've tried to turn down all the screaming. Oh, that's what I was going to do when I started the live stream. I was going to hit the sound, or trigger the sound for the cheering. But maybe it would have been too complicated. Maybe I'll try that next time on Saturday, so that when I appear on screen, I can hit all the applause. I don't know if you can hear what I'm saying. Let me know in the live chat room. Anyway, if you can, we've hit 306,000 subscribers. So thank you everyone for subscribing. I'll turn it off just in case you can't hear what I'm saying. I'll turn it on again. And then when I turn it off, when that thing disappears, the crowd stops. So I just had it programmed that way. So, oh, thank you. You can still hear what I was saying. Good stuff. So the crowd wasn't too loud. Could you hear the crowd? That's the other thing. because maybe I turned it down so far you can't even hear the cheering in the background. Let me know about that as well. So yeah, 306,000 subscribers. Thank you everyone for subscribing, of course, and watching the videos and leaving comments and requesting other videos as well. I do have a mightily long request list, but I am working my way through it, one analysis at a time. So thank you guys for all of those suggestions and requests, for leaving them in the comments section. So we will be jumping into, oh, Cindy says, yes, could hear the crowd too. So thank you for that. Good stuff. Maybe I've hit the right balance finally after about, what, 3 years, or well, longer than that, but years of live streaming. I think I've always struggled to get the right balance between background, crowd noise and actual talking voice. So it looks like we might have done it. And I'm actually going to press save on the software. So I think it just saved. So it means it saves that change that I've made to the levels, which is good. And it didn't crash while trying to save, because that was a bit risky just doing that live, but we got away with it. Right, now over on PayPal, there were some donations over there. As you guys know, I address every single donation, even the ones that happen between the live streams. And this is one of those. Actually, that's just reminded me, we had a donation that came through right at the end of the live stream last time, and this was from Totoro Porker, who donated $6.99. So thank you for that. And the message was, "Your playing is so stylish, almost old worldish. Are you sure you're not a lot older?" So thank you for that, Totoro Porker. And this must have been, yeah, in reference to the last Phil Jan that we had. And I'm as old as I am, and I am quite old, I think. So I've been around for, I mean, I'm old enough to have had a career. I mean, not only kind of musically, but lots of other careers if I'd got into sports and all that kind of stuff. Like with footballers and sports people, like, you know, Djokovic, for example, who's playing at Wimbledon. I believe he's 36. And, you know, they're saying how amazing it is that at that age, he's still performing at the level that he is doing, if anything, you know, improving. So, yeah, Djokovic is a mere baby compared to me. So, yeah, I'm definitely the age that I am. So I have a lot of advantage of just playing the guitar for a long time, I guess. So, yeah, thank you for that, Tortoro Porco. Right, let's get everything organised back to the PayPal window, because we had a donation from Nicole, and this was at 6:03 this morning. So thank you for that, Nicole. And it was for £8.13. The message was, "Phil, I send a little hello for you and your family, despite the heat that prevails. Good week. Kisses from France." So thank you for that. And yeah, it's not too bad heat-wise here in the UK at the moment, and in this room, because I've got the fan. Oh, this is something I was going to talk about. So I've got this fan, you know, running through, it's actually the air conditioning unit, running through a tube that is obviously very long, but the tube obviously doesn't fit to the front of this air conditioning unit, which was a square, and the tube is a circle that's actually a lot smaller than the output of the air conditioning unit. So I did my best impression of Apollo 13, I say the movie, but the actual expedition. Do you call it an expedition? I'm going to call it that. So when yeah, when everything failed, they were having a nightmare. They had guys who were on Earth that were, I think they were trying to figure out how to make a filter or something to filter out carbon dioxide, because they only had enough oxygen for a certain amount of time. So anyway, they said, right, these are all the things that they've got access to in the shuttle, you know, obviously in space. And you've got to try and make this thing from all the things that they've got up there. So they had lots of very clever people trying to figure out how to do this particular filter, or make it out of things that weren't designed to make filters. Anyway, what I was doing wasn't exactly like that. It was probably about a 1/100th of the intellect. But I had a cardboard box I had a pillowcase and I had gaffer tape. And gaffer tape, I think, is the main thing that, yeah, if you're struggling to make anything, as long as you've got gaffer tape, you can find a way around it. So anyway, it was working out how to make a small circle fit a big square but not get any air leakage out of the front of the air conditioning unit. And yeah, so what I did is I cut off one side of a pillowcase, and it was a pillowcase that was too big for my pillow, so it's fine, I didn't waste anything. And I connected that to, actually I connected the pillowcase, just got to try and figure out what I did, to the tubing. I then got some Velcro that was double-sided to then wrap it round to get it airtight. And then I also have this double-sided Velcro tape. So I made that and bent over some of the cardboard, cut up the box, and yeah, gaffer taped the box into a square and bent over the sides and put the soft side of the Velcro there. I put the more, the grippy side of the Velcro on the air conditioning unit in a square, so that I literally stuck it on and attached it. And it's actually quite solid. So it's a Velcro square that then leads into a pillowcase that then leads into the tubing, and that tubing is now blowing air at me at the moment, and somehow it works. I'm not getting any air leakage, which means I'm getting the full power of the air conditioner / fan from miles away coming out of this tube behind me, and I don't even have to have it on the high power setting because the low power setting is good enough. So there you go. Obviously it looks a bit weird because the design on the pillowcase has like flowers on it or something. It's like white and grey, and obviously you can then see that there's a big cardboard box that's kind of leading into it, but it works. So there you go, my impression of Apollo 13. But I mean, effectively, for how it works, it gets probably a 9.5 out of 10. I'm sure there's a little bit of air leakage, but it is now working, which means I can do my live streams, do my videos, the analysis videos in relative comfort, whereas before it was a bit of a nightmare just because of the background noise. And I know that you guys couldn't hear it very much, but for me, it was a bit off-putting because, especially on the live streams, the backing track, obviously the levels for that is a bit random. So if it's a quiet backing track on YouTube, then turning it up loud through my speakers means then I can't hear my guitar as clearly. And when you've got an air conditioning unit kicking off in the background as well, it just adds into, lots of different noises going on at similar levels, which is never a good thing. So there we go. That's I was going to say, well, that yesterday I had an admin day, which I was spending time doing lots of things. And yeah, as you guys know, over on Patreon, I didn't mention this on Patreon because I started doing it probably, I don't know, in the early hours of last night. So it probably took me about an hour or two to stick together my new air conditioning system. I'm going to have to figure out a way to try and get now the tubing to look more official, because obviously it's just going along the floor, and I'm kind of tilting it up towards me so that I get the full benefit of this breeze, which is very nice, and not blowing too hard so that it's blowing my hair all over my face, which is an excellent bonus. Anyway, Orlando's just donated $2. Thank you for that, Orlando. The message is Andy Murray still alive at Wimbledon? So thank you for that. And he's still alive, but not in a competitive sense, because unfortunately he lost, but he was unseeded. I'm not sure whether he was a wild card or something, because I know that he was injured and now he's had like a metal something put in his hip. Does he have a metal hip now? He has something metal that they've put in, and yeah, he's amazingly back to performing, and he says performing at his best. And certainly the match that I saw that he lost, he was actually really close to winning it. And I don't know whether people watch tennis on the whole over in the USA, but they have something where they can challenge a call. And I think if Andy had challenged a particular call, it would have given him a match point, which means he's just got to win that one match point, obviously, well, maybe not obviously, but then he'd win the match. But he didn't challenge, but the ball was in, but he didn't know it was in. He thought it was out. So then they played on, and the other guy then I think won the set, and then he won the next set, and then Andy lost. So he was really close to winning. So yeah, he's performing at a high level, which is great. But unfortunately for us in the UK, yeah, he didn't get very far. But he was playing, I think, the 5th seed. So, yeah, a guy that is one of the favourites to get to, what, the quarterfinals, maybe? Or just outside the quarterfinals, if not kind of get through to win it because he is seeded. So, yeah, he played really well and was very close to winning, but not this time. Hopefully, maybe, fingers crossed, he'll come back next year and maybe do a little bit better, especially if his fitness holds out. So anyway, Andy Murray, again, another one of those players that is a mere baby compared to me now. So yeah, these guys, I mean, they are, I think, a bit later on in their career, but you know, they've still got the fitness and the ability to keep on going. So right, I can see that we've just hit 200 likes, so thank you for that, guys. Because not only does it mean that we've had a bit of a spike of the likes, but it's easy for me to work out that we need 125 more thumbs up in that live chat room. So if anybody hasn't done that yet, then if you could hit that thumbs up, that would be massively appreciated. And I can see this, Liz says duct tape. So yeah, duct tape is the same thing as gaffer tape. And I think duct tape isn't that a brand name? Is that I'm sure that there's a company called Duck that make, or Duct that make that particular tape. So I'm not sure whether gaffer tape is just a broader term that we use here, that gaffers use, and that's probably why we call it gaffer tape. But maybe it's just not a branding thing. I'm trying to think of other gaffer tape brands, and I think duct tape. Is it duct? I don't think it's duck, like the animal. I'm not sure, but I think it's a D-U-C-T. Actually, let me just... I'm going to have a quick scroll up to see if I can find Liz's comment again. Yeah, D-U-C-T. Not a duck. So, anyway, thank you. We've had a couple of donations that have just come in from Shauna, who's donated $3.99. Thank you for that. And we've got some rock horns in there. And then David's donated $1.99 with a big thumbs up. So thank you for that. And yes, Mary is just reiterating. It's duct, not duck. So thank you for that. And yeah, I think maybe it's just my English accent. Maybe when I say duct, maybe the T's not duct quite as clear at the end of that word. So anyway, yeah, gaffer tape. I mean, this is why I don't have to worry about that, because we say gaffer tape here. Right, back to the PayPal donations. Thank you for that, Nicole, even though I referenced that quite a while back. And Paul donated $5. Again, thank you for that. And the message was 306. I can try and get the numbers in the right order. 306,000 subscribers. Congratulations and well done, Rock. So thank you for that. Also, letting me know on PayPal. And Tammy's donated $10. Thank you for that, Tammy. The message is, hi Phil, congratulations on hitting 306,000 subscribers. In your opinion, how will AI change the music industry? So thank you for that. And I mean, I haven't really thought about this a lot, and I know that there's lots of people who are, are using AI to write songs, or at least do chord progressions and lyrics and all that kind of stuff. I haven't really looked into the AI side of music yet, because what I'm more bothered about is the AI potential for controlling computer systems, i.e. the internet and everything else that is everything is computer nowadays, so, or computer run nowadays. So it means that if an AI decided to take control of particular systems, then yeah, what's to stop it from making some decisions that humans don't necessarily want it to make? And this is why I know that Elon Musk has said recently about it being a really serious situation, that they need to have some kind of control written into, government and laws, and making sure that people who are creating AI, and more specifically giving them the tasks, that they give AI only particular tasks, because the whole point of AI is that it is thinking, it's an intelligence. It's not thinking with a human mind, it's thinking with a computer mind and a computer algorithm. So if it wanted to suddenly decide to do something, say for example it did get control of the internet, it now has a connection to everything in the world. And when I say that, I mean everything, as in weapon systems, you name it, it can have access to it. And I'm assuming, being a computer system, it speaks the language of computers. So it will be able to now hack computers better than humans can hack. And this is the disturbing thing that I saw about AI, was that it learns so much more quickly than a human brain can ever learn. You know, what it might take us 100 years to learn, naturally as humans it would learn in, you know, potentially, I think, weeks, it said, because that's all it's doing. Every second of every day it's learning. And, you know, when when we've got a problem, we can't come up with a solution to the problem, you know, maybe millions of different solutions in a split second. We have to go through all of those one by one, whereas a computer can, that's all it's doing. It's just going through solutions all the time, or probably more accurately, it's going through things that don't work until it finds a solution. And as soon as it finds a solution, it moves on to the next thing. So that's the AI that I'm more worried about, that, yeah, it could kind of work out, or it could just hack things if it wanted to, because it knows how to do it. And it would work out the hack so much more quickly than a human would, because it can go through every variable of a password, for example. When you say, right, for everyone's password, there's like, you know, 5 million variations of it. How long would it take the computer to go through 5 million variations? It's not doing it like a human would, typing it in all the time. It's just, you know, doing it pretty faster than I can click my fingers. So yeah, it'll probably go through, you know, a few thousand a second or whatever. So yeah, maybe even quicker than that. That's the AI that I'm worried about, and I haven't really looked into it for music. So yeah, I can't really answer that question as to how it would change the music industry, because I think at the moment people should keep their eyes on how it's going to change potentially the world we live in, and interconnected systems, because it definitely needs to be under control and kept control of. But thank you for that, Tammy. I haven't tried any AI music yet, so I can't really say anything about it. Karen has donated £3.73. Thank you for that, Karen. And the message is, hi Phil, congratulations on hitting 306,000 subscribers. I hope you don't mind my sharing an Albert Einstein quote. Creativity is intelligence having fun. Thanks for being you. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that, Karen. And yes, it's very apt that we have a quote that includes intelligence, but of a human kind, after that artificial intelligence. I mean, I'm tempted to say alien intelligence, because that's unfortunately what it could turn into, that we then don't understand the computers and what they're doing. So thank you for that, Karen. It's amazing to think, when I watched Terminator and Terminator 2 especially, that, yeah, what, 30, it's actually probably more likely 40 years later, we now have AI, and the whole computer controlling potentially machines. Hopefully that's something that won't happen, is that they can make machines, because those are a physical now embodiment of AI. So yeah, we've got to stop machines having any I mean, that's something that's already happened. You pretty much connect every machine you have, like my watch for example, via Bluetooth to your phone, and that's connected to the internet. The internet is connected to the computers. So yeah, we've got to make sure that dangerous weapons don't have an internet connection, because that's something that AI could then take over. But maybe already that's too late. So fingers crossed, Terminator 2 specifically, it doesn't happen. But thank you for that, Karen. And I'm just going to scroll to the next one, because Steve has donated £5. Thank you for that, Steve. And the message is, how does the way you hold your guitar, sitting / standing, high up / low slung, etc., affect the way you play a song? So thank you for that, Steve. Okay, right, so generally the higher you have the guitar, the easier it is to play. So that means that sitting down, it'll be easier to play than if you're standing up and then you have it, you know, low slung. But if you have your guitar on your lap and then you wear your strap and you tighten your strap to the point where the guitar sits, where you have it on your lap, then when you stand up, it'll be just as easy to play when you're standing up as when you are sitting down. So that's something that you might struggle with. I mean, I had a student who didn't realize this, that said that when they stood up, they really struggled to play and their technique wasn't as good as when they were practicing. And then I said, well, when you practice, are you sitting down? And they said, oh yeah, I always sit down when I practice. And I said, well, your guitar is therefore probably, most likely, going to be higher when you're practicing, so you get easier access to the neck. So for example, if I have my hand at this angle, I can play the guitar in this place very easily. But as soon as I start moving my hand down, the angle now, I've got to move my wrist backwards and stretch with my fingers to get to the same point, because I've now, opened the angle of my elbow so that it's going to make it more difficult to come around the guitar and play. So it means that if you've got small hands, and I've got small hands, so it means that I have the guitar in a balance between the two. So not really high up, playing a banjo, but not really low slung, because I haven't got the size of hands that guys have. Like Slash, for example, has got big hands. So it means that he can have it very low down, but still reach all of his notes. And I've always mentioned on the channel as well, whenever talking about Slash, that when he then wants to get into his stretches, he puts the guitar up vertically, which, if you analyze it, it's like now having the guitar on your lap, that he's bringing the guitar neck higher up so that he can stretch more with his hands. So, and it's one of those things that when I was talking to Steve Stevens about this, he's worked it in such a way that he puts his leg up on the fold-back speaker so it looks really cool, and rests the bottom of his guitar, the body of his guitar, on his hip, or at least the joint between his thigh and his hip, so that it sits vertically. But that now gives him access to stretching over his fretboard more, so that he can play his more technical passages where he needs to stretch without having it really low slung. So that's why you see Slash do that all the time. He pops his guitar up, and it just looks cool as well. I mean, that's the really clever thing about it, is he's made it look cool, but it has that dual impact of now being easier to play the guitar and get those stretches in there. So having your guitar neck higher up, easier to play, low slung, harder to play if you've got small hands. And if you've got larger hands, then you can get away with it. So then potentially you can look cooler by having it slung low. I think a lot of the problem is sometimes somebody who has got small hands tries to play the guitar too low. And of course, then it starts sounding messy and they can't reach the notes properly. So I always go for the sound first and then the look second. So I always want to sound as good as I can do on my guitar, rather than trying to look as cool as I can do and then just sounding a bit technically inefficient. So that's just my own personal choice. But thank you for that, Steve. And it's midnight already. By the way, we have a bumper picture corner tonight. I don't know how many pictures we're going to be taking a look at, but we do have a lot, because I did upload those to the software earlier and took quite a while to do all that. So thank you guys for uploading those pictures to the supporters group over on Facebook. By the way, if you are a Facebook user yourself and you want to get involved, you can join the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook and just click the join icon. You'll be let into that group. And if you have any pictures of the new mug or any merchandise, all that kind of stuff, you can upload it there and then I'll show it on the live streams. And yes, that new mug is still available, but we are starting to get some pictures filtering through from people who have ordered those. So thank you guys for ordering them. Again, with the merchandise, it all makes a huge difference to allow me to keep doing what I'm doing here. Just on the live streams, but just in the analysis videos, every single thing that I do. So, right, quick spike of the likes. Maybe we are at 236, which means we're looking for 89. That's just a number that popped into my head, and it seems like it might have been correct. So 89 more people we're looking to get involved in that live chat room before the end of the live stream. And as for how this works, because generally I think there's I don't know, between maybe 200, I think 190 at the moment viewers. Sometimes it's more than that, sometimes it's less, but the likes, you can only use one like. So if you're trying to click it multiple times, that's not going to work, unfortunately. It's just potentially going to cancel out your like that you gave earlier. So it has to have been 325 people that have been in the live chat room at some point and hit that thumbs up. So this is the thing. I know that, you know, people dip in and then out of the live chat room and just watch a bit of the live stream. So yeah, for those people that do dip in and dip out, you know, if you can leave a thumbs up, that would be great, because it will definitely help. It will give us a spike of the likes towards that target of 325. That's what we're looking for tonight. And just looking over into my messages from Joe, I'm just going to scroll down to see which one we're doing, which is 23. And more importantly, how long the track is. It's 11 minutes and 13 seconds for tonight's Phil Jam. So it is going to be a long one. I'm not sure whether we'll play along for that long, but I did a vote before we started the live stream, and the vote said to use a wah-wah pedal. So I have that plugged in. I just thinking whether I plugged it in. I think it is all plugged in and ready to go. So we have that option of doing a wah-wah later on. So we'll jump into that if we make it. So if you want to hear some wah-wah guitar from myself in the jam, then hit that thumbs up. And yeah, 246 at the moment, which means we did have a bit of a spike. We'll keep an eye on that. We do, of course, have the vote for tonight's cover video. And that's between I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight and Just Got Lucky by Duck Tape by Dockham. So if you want to hear a bit of Dockham, it looks like it might be a bit of Cutting Crew rather than Dockham tonight, because they have 59% of the vote. Obviously, that's going to be my version of that particular song, which I think I'll access through the screen grab that I do for the riff of the week, because yeah, the video was a bit jumpy when I was trying it earlier. I'm now going through the process of trying the videos that have been requested over on Patreon. Thank you guys for doing that, as always. But those videos that get requested, I do try them before the live stream just to make sure they work, because sometimes they don't work. So they both work, but it seemed a bit jumpy, so I might go to YouTube in order to grab that one, and it just means that you'll have to watch it like watching a YouTube video, but it should be fine theoretically in my mind. Right, Orlando's donated $10 again. Thank you for that, Orlando. The message is: I must make breakfast for dinner. Egg substitute and egg whites made into soft tacos with Mexican cheese, or tacos. Why do I always forget how to say that? It's because I don't use that word very much here in the UK. It's not part of my diet, but with Mexican cheese and ketchup. I ran out of tomato salsa. I will listen along. And thank you for that. I've never had like egg substitute, but I know that for people working out, you can get, you know, egg substitute, and you can just buy egg whites. You just I don't know how they arrive, whether, you know, it's just, I guess, like milk or something, or a container. How does it, maybe like a milk container or something, but just of egg whites? I don't know how it works, but I never ordered them myself. I generally, when I was working out, used to have, actually, I did used to separate the yolks from the whites and have maybe 1 or 2 egg yolks, just because I like that. And I mean, there's lots of, you know, health benefits to that. Obviously, you have to balance it with the fat content as well, but I was having maybe 1 or 2 egg yolks with maybe 6 egg whites. That's what I used to do, but that's when I was kind of training properly and you know, running lots and watching my fat percentage, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, nowadays I just have, you know, 2 eggs just as they are. I just have scrambled egg on toast, and then I mostly just go for, at least used to go for, but hopefully when I get back into training, when my arm is better, and I have organised a consultation with a physiotherapist for Thursday, so I will be doing that then, just to try and sort out once and for all what's going on with my arm, because I mean, it's pretty much okay. I mean, the fact that I can do, well, I can stretch my arm out, well, that's one thing that I couldn't do, but the fact that I can do day-to-day things now, like playing the guitar and, you know, lifting things, yeah, that aren't massively heavy, but you know, the things that I couldn't do before. It means that I think it's pretty much healed, but the reason that I'm going to the physio is just to finally suss out what's going on, and I'm hoping maybe if it is a nerve thing that they can manipulate my arm in a particular way that doesn't injure me more, but helps to kind of free up the range of motion in my elbow, because I think it's probably just something to do with that as well. So we will see, fingers crossed. But yeah, thank you for that, Orlando. And talking about the tomato salsa, I have some of that because I bought some Doritos, which I'm sure you have over in the USA, and there were the unflavored ones, but they have a hint of paprika, or yeah, is that? I'm now questioning how I've said that. Anyway, it has some paprika on it. It isn't. I'm just saying it like that. I'm sure that's what it is. It has that on them, but they're pretty much unflavored, and I put them in the dip. And the good thing about Doritos, but obviously don't overdo it, but the good thing about Doritos is they're high in unsaturated fats, which is a win-win because I like Doritos, especially the tomato flavor ones, but they're called here, like, I don't know, hot tomato. I don't think they even call them tomato. So it's like a hot flavour, but it just tastes like tomato flavour to me. So that's why I like them, and they're not really, really hot. But having said that, I did make the mistake of dipping one of these tomato flavour things into the salsa, which I think has some spice in it. And together, that definitely was spicy. But independently, they're fine. So I don't know how that works, but obviously they make them that way so that you get a bit of a kick to it when you have the sauce with them. So, getting hungry now. After this live stream, I'm going to bust open a packet of Doritos. And when I say a packet, I mean just the small 30 grams packets, because before I have busted open the 180 gram packet, considering that 30 grams is a serving, and I've pretty much had half. I had like 90 grams, so like 3 packets in one serving. I could probably eat a whole 180 grams, big, they call it like a sharing pack. I could demolish one of those, but I don't, because I know that I've got to be strict. Because even though it's unsaturated fats, it's still calories, and yeah, that's got to get stored somewhere if you're not burning them off. So, I mean, that's going to get converted to carbs. That's the problem. Anyway, converted to carbs, then converted into fat. So, yeah, they do have a lot of carbs in them as well. Right, I'm just looking into the PayPal window. We've had another donation in there, so thank you for that. I'll get to that in a second, because Carlos has donated $4. So thank you for that. And it's the guy holding a drink and saying cheers. And as we know, it looks a little bit like the summer fruit squash that I used to have. I just got water tonight, and that's what I will be drinking. But quick shout out for any of you in that live chat room. If you have just jumped into the live chat room and you haven't used your thumbs up, that would be great if you could do that, because we're aiming to have a fill jam tonight. We are looking for 325 likes, and we're currently at 254. So we're still looking for quite a few likes, and about 20 minutes left of the live stream. It looks like it's going to be another close one, because in the last, 3 or 4 live streams, we've only just made it. So considering that the goal was lower as well, maybe we are asking for too much tonight, but we will see. 325 is what we are aiming for. Right. If we don't hit the target, the fill jam will roll over to the next live stream. And then hopefully if we hit the target then we will have tonight's fill jam, which is number 23. Right, let's get back into the PayPal donations. It is Jean who has donated £15.59. So thank you for that, Jean. And the message is donation. So thank you everyone for these very kind donations. But as I always say, you don't have to donate. Just watching is great, and hitting that thumbs up is great as well. So let's jump into tonight's cover video, and let me end the poll. I think it's going to be I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight. I'll wait for confirmation. But I know that in order to get this playing, I'm going to have to get the background up on screen. I'm not sure. I'm kind of working my way through this in the background. And it is I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight. So let's get that up on screen. Let's now try and get my... And this is all because the screen, or at least the video, didn't work earlier, which was a bit of a pain. Let me get that on screen there and make this the correct size so that we can grab it. And now the comment section is overlapping, which we don't want. Right, now if I click this button here, it should show up on screen as the YouTube video. So I should be able to just play this or click on play and it should go. So anyway, here we go. We're gonna all have an attempt at watching this through YouTube and let's see what happens. Let's give it a go and I'll see you guys after. Rock.
Curtains are closed, the cat's in a cradle. Who'd have thought that a boy like me could come to this? Whoa, I just died in your arms tonight. Must have been something you said. I just died in your arms tonight. Whoa, I just died. I just
And there we have it. That was Phil from Wings of Pegasus with I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight, the Cutting Crew classic. And I thought I would just end it that way because of getting a smooth way back to what I'm doing here, having just taken that screen grab, because I know normally it kind of fades out all smoothly. Hopefully I kind of got away with that. So we are going to be jumping into Picture Corner now. Oh, I can see 270. That means we're looking for 55 more likes. So, yeah, still quite a few likes to go. It might be the case that we don't make it for tonight's Phil Jam, in which case, I mean, we're going into Picture Corner, and then, I mean, we can still do a riff of the week, maybe a Phil tune. So we will see what happens, and it's 3 minutes past midnight here. So we are going to be jumping into Picture Corner to take a look at all of these pictures that we've got going on. So I'll see you guys in a second. And I've got to make sure I click on the right button. So many buttons going on in these live streams, as I almost accidentally cancelled the whole thing when we first started. But let's jump into Picture Corner, and I'll see you guys there. Rock! So here we are, and I'm just making sure that it's all working. I think there should be some elevator music going on. I say that, it's just me playing a few major 7th chords. So anyway, first of all we have Bob, who has the special Phil tune mug that has only been out for a week, has it? No, a week and a bit. So thank you, Bob, for uploading this one. And then we have Deborah, who has uploaded this picture again of the Phil tune mug, and there we can see it. Actually, this was Deborah. She's got two because I believe one was for her daughter as well. So here we go. As you can see, it says, "Ruddy heck, I need a guffing drink." So, I mean, I'm actually okay for a drink at the moment, but if you want to have your favourite beverage whilst watching a live stream, then get your hands on any of the mugs, but the Phil tune mugs, I guess, are a little bit more I don't know, relevant to the live streams if we do look at a Phil tune. So anyway, thank you for uploading that one, Deborah. And Dina has uploaded this, and look at this. We've got a Wings of Pegasus fest going on and some PG tips. So we've got some tea ready to go, and we have the Phil tune mug, we have the signed Wings of Pegasus CD, which you can get at wingsofpegasus.com/music if you want one yourselves, and we have the t-shirt as well. So thank you, Dina, for doing the modelling, and also for purchasing my album and the mug, of course, the t-shirt, and for drinking tea out of your Phil tune mug. So thank you, Dina. And Diane uploaded this picture as well, and here we can clearly see myself in cartoon form, and the print. It looks like the time was worth it in order to try and make the logo. Well, the logo that I have to send off, it's not really a logo, but the picture of my cartoon self, I had to cut round myself, make it into a vector image, so that I could, you know, make it a bigger image so that the quality was good enough to have on a mug. So yeah, it seems like the time was well spent. So thank you for that, Diane. And we have Laura as well, who has hands on one of the new mugs, of course, but also is modelling the Wings of Pegasus t-shirt. So thank you to Laura, as you guys will know her as TN Moppy in the live chat room, but also for linking me to the pictures via Facebook. And as I said, you guys, if you want to get involved yourselves, head over to the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook, and then you can upload any pictures that you have of yourselves with your mugs or anything else that you have Wings of Pegasus merchandise wise. Right, we are at 275 likes, so that means we're looking for 50 more people to hit that thumbs up. I mean, this is, I think, maybe going to have to be a live stream where we accept defeat And I know that, I mean, it's still relatively recently that we changed the time in order to have the live streams an hour earlier, because that meant that having it an hour earlier means that I can still do the live streams, whereas having it an hour later meant that I would have had to cancel doing the live streams. So yeah, this is the thing. I know it's probably a little bit inconvenient for some people, but if you are watching this on catch up, if you do now catch them a little bit later on, you can still hit that thumbs up. It still works. It still registers on the video and really does help this channel to get out there and to grow generally. So thank you guys for tuning in the future as well. So right, let's maybe dive into a riff of the week. Let's see what's happening with that. So we'll now look into the live chat room. If you can type me a number between 1 and 100, then we will have a look at said riff. I'm just going to access the updated riff of the week list that Laura sent me. So it's just loading, and here we have it. Right, let me click on that, move this out of the way so I can see what's going on. Right, so numbers between 1 and 100. Let's have a look. We have David says 87. That's a high one. We've had number 87. Okay. Oh, don't call me Angie said 99. I think we've had 99, have we? Yeah. We've had 99. That's quite a common number that people request. Old Mr.B says number 5. We have not yet had number 5. So Old Mr.B is the correct guesser for tonight. And as I said, check out my chat with Old Mr.B over on his channel. There's a link in the description below of this live stream if you guys want to head over there after you've finish watching that live stream. You can, even better, you can click on it and it might open up another window, so then you can watch it straight afterwards. So yeah, that's in the description below. But what was it? I've forgotten. Number 5, I think it was. So let me type in riff of the week number 5. Oh, okay, now this is a bit of a problem because it gives me all of the 50s as well. Okay, here we go. It's at the bottom of the list. Number 5 there. Click on that.
Are you tired of battling?
We've got an advert for gardening tools for some reason. So I'll play that through. And I'm not sure why. The thing is about YouTube, it does give you adverts based on the videos that you've watched. So I'm trying to think. At some point, I must have watched a gardening video for it to come up with that advert. And I'm not sure what it was. I did something to do with gardening a while back, but I can't remember exactly what it was. Anyway, let's get into the riff of the week rather than talking about gardening. Right, so we'll jump into this. I want to have in that live chat room, if you know the song that the riff comes from, that's what you have to type in. And the first one to get it wins nothing apart from winning the race to be the first correct answer. And you can name the artist or band if you want to as well. But let's have a listen to this and see what it is. And there we have it. Halfway through, I realised that we couldn't even see the video. So there it was. And now let's remove this from in front of my face. That was one of those riffs that I think I need only have played probably 2 or 3 seconds. But because I almost said who it was there. But because it's just a cool riff, I played pretty much you know, the whole chorus thing. So anyway, let's just scroll up and see who got it first, and scrolling down, it looks like Back in Black was PN112. Was it that? I think it was PN112 on my list who got it first, because Bernadine Jones said AC/DC, and above that, actually, I am mistaken because Corey said Back in Black. I'm going to have a little scroll up to make sure. Going up and up. Okay, Mutt Francis said AC/DC, Back in Black. AC/DC, Kathy as well. And Inconceivable Dark said Back in Black as well. Or maybe this refreshed. And let me go all the way back up again to see. Well, yeah, I can see that there are a lot of guesses above this. And going all the way up. Okay, there were lots. This must be coming through really quickly, because I'm going up. I think it still was. Let me go down here. Annika said Back in Black. So, okay, David M said, okay, Cindy said Back in Black. So Cindy's the quickest one so far. I'm scrolling up to see if anybody else got it above that. I'm not sure. It looks like I've got to the top of the list. So it was Cindy with a C who said Back in Black, who guessed it correctly. And yes, did it very quickly at the top of my list. So congratulations to you, Cindy. We got loads of people guessing that correctly because it is a very well-known riff. So thank you guys for playing Riff of the Week for this particular live stream. And I mean, we're almost quarter past midnight here anyway in the UK. So that's generally when we call things to a close during the live stream. So we're not going to be having a Phil Jam for tonight. And I think we've run out of time to have a Phil tune as well. So there has been another donation in the Super Chat window from Orlando, who has, it looks like logged in. Because Orlando says, using my other YouTube account to give another like for a thumbs up. So thank you for that. It looks like we're going to end a little bit underneath our target for tonight, but the target is going up and up and up. So it's just really the luck of the draw, and especially on a Tuesday night, I always think it's more difficult because, you know, it's a work day or a school night, as parents call it. So, when you've got work the next day or the kids have to go to school the next day. But then I'm not sure whether kids have broken up yet for summer, because that's got to be coming up soon, considering that it's July. And maybe it's this kind of time that kids are breaking up for school. I do not know. I would know if I was still teaching lots of kids, as I used to do, guitar, because during the summer months they would then come to me for their guitar lessons, and they do that throughout the year as well. So yeah, I used to know when kids would break up for school, but now I don't. So whenever they are off, then I will probably know actually from my nephews, because then they'll be doing all kinds of things. And they've just had, believe it or not, AstroTurf fitted to their garden so that they don't now make mud everywhere and just ruin all of the grass that they did previously. So yeah, they're very lucky boys now, because they have the ability to play football in the garden 24/7, 365. Literally, it's never going to get muddy. So I haven't yet checked it out, but I will be checking that out soon to have a go on it myself. But I don't think it's the kind of AstroTurf that you can slide on your knees with. You don't want to start doing that. I once fell over on AstroTurf because I used to play in a league that was on AstroTurf. And I fell over while running at speed, and when I was putting my arms down, or I kind of fell on my elbow and got one of those AstroTurf burns on my elbow, and just seeing, I still have a slight scar there because it took ages to heal, because it's like a burn. So yeah, not very nice at all. It takes ages to heal and then leaves a scar. I wonder if I have one on this. Yes, and I have one there as well. So this is the thing. If you play sports and you run too fast and you're going to fall over on AstroTurf, then you're going to get problems. And I do have scars on my shins as well. That's just from getting kicked a lot. But thankfully, not too many. But I did quit football at age 20. So I have enough scars for just considering that I stopped then. I probably have a lot more if I continue to play. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. We are going to be having another video tomorrow night. Look out for that one. Make sure that you are subscribed. Hit that notification bell for that particular video, because it's one of those that would normally be blocked, but I've managed to do the whole dispute thing in order to get it cleared for you guys tomorrow night. So look out for that. We are going to be live streaming again on Saturday night as always. So same time, same place. That's going to be 11 p.m. in the UK. As always, check with Google, type in your time, and then time in the UK. You shouldn't have to type in your time. You should know what it is. It'll be on the screen somewhere. But then type in time in UK or time in London, England, and you'll be able to find what the time is here, so you'll know when to tune in live for the live streams. But thank you guys for joining me. And Orlando's donated another $2. Thank you again for that. The message is hopefully we hit the goal on Saturday. Bye all with a wave. So yes, we'll be here again Saturday. Analysis video tomorrow night. Analysis video on Friday night as always. If you guys want to get involved over on Patreon, then you can do it. It's patreon.com/Wings of Pegasus. As I always say, it's the foundation of everything I do. So thank you guys for all of your support over there. Right, have a great rest of your week. Try to stay as safe and as sane as possible in this crazy world in which we live. And I'll see you guys live on Saturday night if you're available, because that's where I'll be. And I'll see you at tomorrow night's video as well. So stay safe, and I'll catch you guys then. Rock.